Ladies and gentlemen, welcome! Jinxie's still bigger than me. I thought I fixed that. There we go. That's a more natural size. Although she is about as tall as me, her chair's just a bit lower. Welcome to NGS Playoffs. We are here with Division A East. I am Tetcher, your caster, and I am joined, co-casting me, this time, not in person. As you can see, we don't exist in the same plane of existence. We exist a continent away. But it is Jinxeekatt joining me for the games today. Jinxie, welcome. And this is a game that I believe you should be invested in.
Yeah, so hi, first of all, thank you. And second of all, I am because I'm in this bracket. My team is playing.
And let's have a look at that to talk about exactly what is going on. So, as you can see over here, this is the bracket for Division A playoffs. Currently happening at the exact same time here. Jinxie's team, the Gilly Sharks, are playing against Sky 5. I believe they should be playing right now. So that should be happening. But we are still starting up here at the top of the right-hand side of the bracket. This is Beast Coast versus Party Time. Seed 1 versus Seed 8 going into this. Winner is going to play against Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line. Feels good.
Really stiff composition here, but you know, I'll say like, a lot of people are discounting Party Time. I've seen them pull off some amazing feats, and I definitely think this is going to be a close couple of games.
I am very excited. The draft is just about to begin, so we're going to show you how we got to where we are right now by showing you the map bans and map draft. Once again, we are Division A East for the playoffs. Party Time, they banned out Cursed Hollow and Towers of Doom. Beast Coast removed Dragonshire and the Infernal Shrines, leaving us with Party Time taking us to the map we are heading into right now. It's Sky Temple. Let's get this underway. So, first pick, first ban, going over to Beast Coast on Sky Temple. So we're going to see the priority on global units.
So what rises up here in priority? We could see Falstad come out. The Haka is always really great. Brightwing, it's ever since she got her buffs, has seen a lot more play here in competitive. So I wouldn't count out the Fairy Dragon yet.
That's a good point. We could see the Fairy Dragon popping in. I'd be okay with that. We see some Moro. Another global potential hero.
Wonder if we'll see the tank lock. That is the smallest pool, and it's been a really solid A strategy to just try go ahead, get those tanks out of there, and try and put your opponent on an uncomfortable tank that doesn't maybe necessarily work with what they're doing. The same, or something that doesn't really fit. So, you know, like, oh, we got this really amazing blow-up comp. We have no wave clear, and then you also get like an Anubarak who also has no wave clear, and then your team just has no wave clear, and you can kind of struggle with that.
Very sensible here. As you say, with the Falstad removed, the globals, the wave clear, they start to whittle down. As Party Time, they are on to their second ban. What are we going to see here? We still have a lot of these priority heroes, like ETC, Johanna is available as well, that have so far been ignored. Zool up there as well. And we're going to start off with Tassadar. That is still wave clear. It is still one of the top priority heroes, but we still have plenty of flexibility.
Zool coming out first makes a lot of sense. He's got really strong wave clear, and this could even be a main tank if Beast Coast wants to make it. It hasn't been done for a while, ever since the Zool nerfs, but still definitely a possibility.
There's Anna.
And Johanna, really solid S-tier pickup.
It's a very solid setup here. We might even see Li Ming either picked away or banned here because of this. You want to remove those incredible ability power heroes who can really benefit off of the Ana as the setup. Now with Zool on the board, what are we going to see as even more powerful? This is this an off-lane Zool, or are we going back to the Grim Scythe style of tank Zool? Plenty of options there. It might be either, because that Grim Scythe Zool could really benefit from what is starting to turn into a Bloodlust composition with Rhaegar, who stuck his way through the bans, and Greymane making his way in.
Interesting. Letting them get Greymane and Rhaegar. ETC going to be banned away here. And they've already got their support, Tetcher. So what are we going to see to deal with this Bloodlust? Falstad is banned away. And it seems Party Time might have played right into the hands of Beast Coast here.
It's an excellent point here. Like you say, with the support here, they lose that opportunity for Deckard or Stukov, so they don't have that counterplay potential, meaning they're going to be a little more reliant on their offlaner here. We see the Malthael banned out, but my priority in this case would definitely be onto Yrel, someone who has that disengage potential, or perhaps an Imperious, something a bit more burst heavy that could allow them to turn around. We'll have to see as we head into the next two picks. We have Johanna again, more wave clear, could be very solid here. They need someone to follow up, and they still need someone to synergize. Leoric and Reyna. So Leoric and Tomb could be a good zoning tool. Reyna, not the best nano boost target, but they've left themselves open for Li Ming, Kael'thas, Gul'dan, all these heroes. How did she get through this far?
I totally forgot that she was a hero in the game, but yeah, she's definitely one of the best, and this team fight coming out looks absolutely insane. A Nubarak picked up here, and that's kind of where the draft falls off for me, Tetcher.
The Nubarak is a little bit of a weaker tank in terms of hit point pulls, especially against a Reyna. Reyna being one of Nubarak's best counters in the game right now, being able to just ping away at that Beetle. But it is a little bit more of the hit-and-run style, and we do have that solid damage from a Nubarak later on with the Acid-Drenched Mandibles. That's interesting. I don't see a clear nano boost target in here. Junkrat's the closest they have here, but the way his cooldowns work with nano boost cooldown reduction is interesting. So that is going to be a curious pickup here. Perhaps it's an Eye of Horus game.
We can see Eye of Horus. I know that the Nano Riptire does an absurd amount of damage, so it could just be used for that purpose alone. Otherwise, I mean, I'm just saying, it's never a bad idea to nano boost your tank, especially we get Johanna getting that cooldown reduction at level 4. You could just spam blinds and condemns, and then what are the teams going to do when they have Bloodlust up? Nothing. Be blinded and get stunned.
That's an excellent point. They have the stuns, they have the blinds, they have plenty of potential options here. The Entomb into that Nano Riptire is very much a scary possibility, so there is a lot of fear there, but they do still have to play around the fact that the Zul attack speed slows, the blinds from Johan, the blinds from Cassia. In terms of damage output, I gotta lean in favor of Beast Coast here, because it's Grey Maid Cassia. It's really hard to deal with that. Johanna's gonna have to work overtime with these blinds. And ladies and gentlemen, we are heading into the game and getting this underway. Welcome to the Sky Temple, and we are getting into it. On the left-hand side, it is going to be Beast Coast with Muffin with an accent. I don't know what that N is. We have the Pie Maker, we have Richard Gere, Secret, and Legacy. And they are Beast Coast.
And over here on the right-hand side, we got Bishop Mist, Schumann, Chess-Clue, Keeb, and Pokeflute. Thanks for moving, friend. On the right, that is gonna be party time.
We are getting this underway. So, we're gonna see the top hanging out already. We see the vision captured straight away by Beast Coast, but party time. They're still just going to reclaim that. Moving up a little bit slower, a little more reactionary, but still fine. Wave clear comes in from Chess-Clue, but nothing too aggressive yet.
Everyone is just really trying to focus on getting those lanes cleaned early so they can look at those Siege Giants here in just a couple of seconds, 20 seconds. We see them probably rotate up to grab the Giants and then maybe look to invade on their enemies.
Going to be seeing wave clear onto the middle lane again. Richard Gere playing very far up, but Chess-Clue was not in position for the full follow-up yet. Is able to back up without too much trouble. So far, no incredibly hard aggressions. Just wave clear, lots of focus. No one's going in for hard engages.
Really surprised to see that Party Time is actually choosing to grab their Bruiser camp over their bottom lane Siege camp. And as such, they're not in there. Hasn't been picked up. Beast Coast is going to go ahead and look to engage on it. And seeing nobody's there, they're going to go ahead and start doing it. Already one Giant down. That's the power of the Greyman Rhaegar.
Oh, well, Concussion Mine comes out. That will slow the cap of that Siege Giant. And that's going to be all the Siege Giants taken by Beast Coast here, taking full control of this early stage of the game, with lots of extra poke into this bottom lane. In the meantime, though, Schumann and Pokerflute going for an incredibly aggressive play, but here comes the cavalry going in, and Schumann has not retreated in time.
We're going to see if Anna can pull out some quick saves here, but it looks like they know their friend is dead. They're going to go ahead and just let him go down. First blood going over to the side of Beast Coast.
Wave it clear coming out. One tower did go down to this Bruiser camp push, cleaned up in this top lane. Zul has managed to double soak mid and bot, so he's managed to grab the majority of the XP from there as level 4 is acquired for both teams. We have Reaper's Toll coming in here, so a potential slow build, but without the Jailers as the initial setup for it. So going for more reliant on actually hitting these Reaper's Tolls, hitting these Spectral Scythes, as opposed to relying on the Skeletons for the slows. Very interesting.
Have to see what he can do with that. It looks like down in the bottom lane, Lurik's got a little bit of a mess to clean up. Perfect skin for the job. And they're just blowing everything out of the water, all of my predictions. Everybody's looking to fight over top lane when usually we see, you know, solo laners kind of duking it out in the top lane, and then the 4-man tries to fight over middle. But Beast Coast has a nice safe lock on this altar. So probably going to start there, and Party Time really has no choice but to clear these bruisers before even considering stepping onto one of these objective points.
And Chessclue dropped incredibly low here. In fact, Pokerflute not able to land the heals either, so that's just going to be Chessclue pawning back to base. That's going to allow Legacy to finish this channel and likely get the full amount of shots. Meanwhile, Secret is zoned off the point, though, so he is going to be forced away. So in the meantime, extra shots coming in. Top lane continuously pressured here. And with these final shots, I don't think top 4 goes down, but it's definitely going to be dropped into very dangerous range.
Are going to see Party Time finally step on that middle altar. They're getting a couple of shots out. Just Schumann on the point right now, able to prevent that Guardian from brushing him off. And it looks like Beast Coast is just invested in clearing that top fort. So we're going to see them do that. And I don't think this fort gets as much, tower, excuse me, gets as much as a fort, but definitely gonna do a little bit of damage. And Schumann actually being zoned away, gets caught out once again. Anna's coming, trying to do the best they can to get a heal in, but before the dart even connects, Raynor goes down for the second time this game for Schumann.
He is really having trouble. Concussion Bite comes out, but Muffin plays far enough back to not get out of position, stays safe here. So we see the bottom lane. Once again, Secret going to come down here. E-Keep coming down to clean that up as well. And once again, now that the objective is over, both teams head in for the channel. But with top fort down and the final 5 shots taken by Beast Coast in that middle lane, Beast Coast continue to extend their, well, just under half a level lead here. But in terms of structures, that passive XP from top lane is going to be very effective here.
Level 10 should be reached by Beast Coast first. Let's see if maybe Party Time can't look for a fight before then to try and get some extra XP or pick down one of these forts. Zul finally headed up to the top lane. That's where we see most of our solo laners on Sky Temple. Gonna just duke it out a little bit down here in the mid lane. Nubarak goes in, but does not hit anybody. Turns around and gets that impale onto Chessclue. Timemaker in a terrible spot, taking about 75% of their health. Healed up by Rhaegar. They're going to go ahead and go back in, but the poke from Party Time is just unreal. Chessclue taking a little bit of damage, has to back out. Want to keep him nice and healed up, though. And that is going to be level 10, so Party Time does have to disengage. Nobody told Schumann that, though. He's going in for the last couple autos.
He's going to get a couple extra shots off, but nothing that's going to pick anyone off. But with level 10 now available, like you said, Beast Coast have a slight time advantage where they can actually get some clearing done. But it's not that far away for Party Time, who, again, while being structures down, are holding themselves in this. Once again, Zul's just continuing to push this up as best he can, as level 10 is now hit by Party Time. And they will take position, once again, defensive. And this is where they found themselves most of the game. Defending their structures, trying to defend the objectives. But they are being out-rotated by Beast Coast. And thank you, Zotti, for the host, by the way. Just saw that in. Welcome to the stream, viewers of Zotti. We are in Division A East playoffs.
Everybody is just trying to soak out. We do have about a half a level lead coming out from Party Time. Legacy has got their eyes locked on Bishop Mist, but he's throwing those chattering teeth out, trying to stay safe. The rest of the team arrives. Lyric is in the top, Zul's in the middle, so Beast Coast will have a little bit of an easier time rotating down onto this, and it looks like retreat pings have been pinged by Party Time. They're going to go and try and do something better with their time, like maybe kill this Zul in middle lane.
We see Zul picked off T-Tors in chat as we do see, once again, extra shots on that bottom lane as positioning was taken by Beast Coast, but now with a person down, they might be in trouble here. Pymate takes a lot of damage and Legacy is gonna skedaddle his beetle butt out of there and make sure that he is not caught out. As we see the positioning taken, zoning with Hyperion to take position here. Don't know why the alert's on, we'll fix that in a second. They should not be on the screen. Thank you very much, DB Smiley, for the gift, for the sub here, and gifting the sub to Black Milk Online. Thank you very much for doing so. I'll fix the reason the alerts are in here for some reason in a moment.
We just love to hear the screams and your own screams when you get shouted at. Anyway, that second half of the tower was taken by Party Time, and now they've kind of equalized. They're still about a half level down, but it doesn't feel so oppressive coming out from Beast Coast. Party Time are able to now really step out onto the map and try and get some work done here. We're going to see these Siege Giants being picked up by our blue friends, and do they head over to the other one? Do they try and take this bottom fort? Possibilities are endless. Meanwhile, Ekeep has been very, very busy trying to deal with all these camps in the top lane. Camps and skeletons. You hate to see it.
Another fort down, 2 forts to 0. This is rough for the side of Party Time, but they still have this potential. They have that Entomb, they have the Nano Boost. They're going for that combo, as we do see the Siege Giants picked up. That's double Siege Giants in the bot lane. And right now, again, the rotation's very much in favor of Beast Coast, but Party Time, they're holding, they're playing safe. It's only 2 kills to 1, and that's going to work in their favor as the game goes on.
I really would like to see Party Time step up and try to get more done here. Like, in that last couple of levels, they had the opportunity to fight. They're being very passive. They're so afraid of the bloodlust. But guys, go for it. There are a couple of things you can pick. So hopefully we'll get to see them aggress a little bit more here as these temples activate here in the next couple of seconds. Looking around boss, though. Is this a spicy boss while they take the top temple?
It looks like they were hovering around the bushes of it, but it doesn't look like this is a boss attempt instead. Oh, hang on, sleep onto the Pie Maker, going in deep, looking for Entomb. Hits no one, but Legacy decides to enter it anyway. Bloodlust comes out, only hitting 3 members of Ubrak, not caught in a cocoon onto Ana, who's going to pop out as Ekeep is going to be zoned away. And looks like this fight will end with no deaths unless Muffin... Nope, Muffin will get out. This fight will end with no deaths. Again, the split, not being able to land that multi-man Bloodlust, not going to work out in their favor here.
And just ask for it and you shall receive. Really nicely done by Party Time. They did a great job of splitting the team right there, so nobody was able to engage. And just like you said, Tetcher, only 3 members were able to get hit by that bloodlust, so it wasn't as devastating as it could be. Schumann maybe going down here. They're fighting on the death bridge now. Bretter, be careful. And he's going to get away just fine. Wasn't even worried.
They're going to clean that up, hold it. Leoric's on his way down, which means they've given up the extra shots from top lane. They don't contest Azul, who gets all those shots, which did go on to tier 2s up here. The entire tier 2 from wall has been blasted in this top lane. As a noob, once again, forced off the point. Chess Clue goes in. Good Entomb this time. They got Cassia enclosed within as they try to focus onto her. With the anti-heal from Ana comes out with the cleanse, but it's not enough. They take it out. Ana is in the cocoon now, not available for the rest of this fight as Schumann's going to turn it round. But we already see the disengage coming out of Beast Coast. They will be forced to back out, which means the remainder of these shots will go over to Party Time.
Really nicely done there by Ekeep. I mean, one of the best ways to shut Cassia down is to not give her any place to run. If she can't move, she can't sustain that armor. And the way that he went in, body blocking her into that back wall, she really had nowhere to go. And without the armor, she's got like 10 hit points. So nicely done, Party Time. We'll see what they can do with this as they pick up this bottom fort. But meanwhile, in the top, Zul, he's putting out a lot of pressure.
He's been continuously pushing this entire time with this entire front wall down. This is where the pressure can continue to be added. However, Ekeep is up here and is going to continuously clear this out, give his team that extra little bit of breathing room, which will allow them to contest this boss. Bloodlust is popped. This is a commitment to this boss. They're not going to complete this, though, by the time the Bloodlust expires, meaning there is a small chance. Leoric is on the way. There's Cocoon onto Johanna, though, but Concussion Mine! Junkrat trying to hold! There comes Johanna out of the Cocoon. They hold it. Riptide comes up. Bless you. Hits no one. Nano Boost on Johanna. She tanks through as they push forward. Legacy is the only one low here as Piemaker is in the back line. It's only the tanks left. The boss was stolen, but the team fight goes in favor of Beast Coast unless they get Piemaker. They do! That makes that a 3-for-3, and Party Time just pulled off the miracle play.
They don't call it the boss pit or throw pit for a reason, Tetcher. Now it's going to do a ton of damage down there in the bottom. Greymane trying to chip away at it best they can, and meanwhile Party Time is just going to go ahead, push this mid wall, and they're right back into it. Structures have basically been equalized at this point, and now Party Time just has free reign to do whatever they want.
They really do, and they're going to use that time to clean top lane. You can see Leoric already heading up here. They're going to grab the Mercenary Cap. Schumann taking that. Junkrat's going to head down here, deal with this single remaining Siege Giant. They are taking the entire map, and they aren't going to paint it blue, but they're certainly they aren't going to paint it red, but they're certainly going to remove some of the blue.
They're going to go ahead and just clear everything up. Beast Coast have all respawned, though. There's only one place the team could be, so do we see another fight coming out here? Nope. Looks like they were able to pick it up easily enough. And now we're going to see both teams converge down towards the bottom. Ready to look at that bottom point.
Gonna hover around. Leoric is not here, but he's gonna make his way down. It's a single altar phase. And we do see right now, Beast Coast, they do have control. They are holding this, but this is because of a numbers advantage. Level 20 is about equally away for both teams as E-Keep gonna make his way in. See what they can do.
Everybody's just posturing right now. This is a really tense moment for both teams. Chattering Teeth coming out, chasing Legacy around. It could be game if you lose a team fight here. We'll have to see. Bloodlust comes out onto Ana, comes that Cocoon. However, Junkrat displacing is doing a great job. Johanna protecting their friend. Out comes the Cassia Valkyrie. Does pick off Ana. Raynor is the first to go down, however. Secret in the backline just cleaning up, and that is a 5-man team wipe. Beast Coast look to go straight for that keep and potentially the core.
What we just saw there was the dark side of Iron Skin, as Johanna Iron Skinned herself through the Valkyrie, meaning it was Ana who got picked by it and was picked off. No healing in that fight, as the Bloodlust composition pays up dividends for Beast Coast as they roll their way with Greymane damage through the core, and they take game number 1.
Nicely done. As I said, I mean, they had to look for the team fight, and they took it, and it was really nicely done. The way Nubreck tunneled through the air, which I've never quite understood on Sky Temple, how you can just, like, pass over, because it's a temple in the sky.
Yeah.
But he was able to jump off, caught the members of party member by surprise, and from then, it was just cleaning house.
It really was. So, team, I have no idea why there are... I have no idea why there appears to be the alerts. They're just there. I don't know why they're there. I can't fix it. But either way, so if you put alerts, thank you. Very appreciated. And again, thank you for the subscription. It is very kind of you. So let's have a look at the stats at the end here. Cassia, of course, top damage output at the end of that game. Really managed to play very effectively and drop the incredible blinds which needed to. And of course, that Valkyrie at the end of the game was great, although Greymane, no deaths in that game. Really nicely done. Able to just drop the kills when needed to. And also, no death on Nubarak, which I was surprised about, because we called out how good Raynor is against it, and Raynor is, in fact, the one with the most deaths.
Really solid team play by Beast Coast, able to keep him off of a Nubarak there. Moffat, he was just in the back line, like, all the time, and it makes it really hard to focus their front line when you're trying to run for your life.
Let's have a look at the talents here while we wait for the next map. We could see at the end there, Zul picked up Cullen's Edict here, doing the reduced cooldown of bone armor and the heroic ability. This is basically the spam poison Nova build. Interesting style, don't see it that often, so it's kind of creative to see that coming in. And Cassia, she went for safety at level 13. She went for the Gloves of Alacrity for extra range. Johanna, though, really wanted that burst damage raw instead of the hammers at level 13. Nice.
We'll get you guys into a game here in just a second. Team's figuring out what they want, what's going on. And I don't know if we talked about this. Maybe you did, and I've just, was like blown away by everything. But we did see the go for the throat as opposed to the cursed bullet for Greymane.
I did not talk about that.
Just making sure, because sometimes I'm like looking at everything and can't comprehend like all the information coming to me at once. But we have the go for the throat, so you can tell they really wanted to try and pick those members of the squishier members of party time. There, just getting in there, tearing them apart.
And it was very effective. They were able to pick up quite a few kills with that, as the stats did show. Greymane had 3 of his team's 10 kills and assisted on all 7 of the others, so he was definitely involved and getting really good value out of that. So yeah, nice little pickup there. Very good call. Completely missed that during the game, but it did work out in their favor. So having a look at the builds of everyone in the game, I'm really concerned. I'm wondering how they could have played that differently, but again, the answer comes down to Rhaegar. For starters, he wasn't banned, and then picking up Ana early on. Ana's a fantastic support, really, really good. But with Junkrat being the only Nano Boost target, the Bloodlust composition has no real peel potential outside of Concussion Mine, outside of Leoric Entombs, and outside of Johanna's stuns, and that's not enough.
Yeah.
You gotta have something else that can peel.
All right, we have a game number 2 here, Tetcher, and we're going to the bottom of the barrel maps here.
So
there's Sky Temple, which nobody likes to play, and now.
So who picked this? It says first draft team 2, which makes me believe that this is the map choice.
It's definitely Beast Coast that picked this.
Okay, fair enough, which means the first pick was, of course, selected by Party Time, as they should, as they have a much more, as first pick is a significantly higher win rate. Here's where we're up to, everybody. As you can see, first map was selected by Party Time, and was won by Beast Coast. Maybe we will see the inverse in game number 2, as Beast Coast will have to defend on the map that they have chosen and try and secure the 2-0 victory. Or can Party Time turn the Zerg wave in their favor and turn this into a 1-1 and take us to a full series? Gonna let the players know that we are ready.
PokeFlu says, I remain hopeful, and it's anybody's game right now. We could see the reverse sweep. I'd love to have a series on our hands. As my last couple of games have been so 2-0 dominant. Like, I am ready for the full 3-game series. It is Praxis holdout, so what can we expect to see?
Well, we're going to see some wave clear heroes. We're going to see some dominant solo laners. Of course, this is a Rexar King map where we're going to see him quite effective if he makes it through the draft. This is a very good map for the same reason, Malthael and stuff like that. This is one of the few maps where Genji is still completely viable and can make his way into the draft as well. So we'll see what pops up from that, as the Genji, of course, incredible boss race potential. And the boss on this map, very hard to take in general, but with its incredibly high attack speed, can effectively turn fights and effectively turn pushing potential. When you're losing a Zerg wave, that boss can get good damage output.
We'll have to see what they pick up here. I know there are a couple of really spicy Beast Coast picks that are played specifically on Braxis. So we'll see if Party Time is wise to those, if they're just going to go ahead and ban them out, or if they've come up with some super secret strategies ready to counter Beast Coast draft. Rex are going to be banned away first and foremost. I mean, you gotta.
He's so good on this map, so banning him away just makes absolute sense. His value is almost unmeasured. There's very few heroes who can actually contest him. Now, don't get me wrong, there are heroes who can contest him. But the ability to soak the lane while also holding the objective and not being the Lost Vikings is almost unrivaled. So having that makes a lot of sense. And look at this, it was called in the chat by Just Keo. Please ban Kel'Thuzad. And it has happened. Monkus agreeing always ban Kel'Thuzad and then being incorrect immediately afterwards by saying never ban Kel'Thuzad. Playing both sides, Monkus, I see.
This was the strategy that I was talking about, and it looks like there are no super secret strategies about how to peel around it. We're going to see that hammer ban away, and I think that's a party time favorite here. So, you know, nods where nods are due. Both teams are like, we see you. You're going to have to play meta because nobody's sick of that. That being said, so what do we see here? First pick. It's going to be that Tassadar with phenomenal wave clear. Makes a lot of sense to pick him up.
And there is the Genji. We were just talking about it. This is the one map where you can really gain incredible value on. So seeing him picked up quite early makes a lot of sense. And Ana stealing that away because Ana Tassadar. Bloodlust Tassadar is still incredible because the Archon is the go-to build these days and for a very long time. But seeing Nano Boost Tassadar with the Shockwave build is still absolutely terrifying. So very sensible steal away here.
I have to see what they pick up to try and deal with this Ana Genji ETC coming out and the Rehgar. So a little bit of a reverse draft now. Archon Bloodlusted is terrifying. And I would say, you know, it's almost rivals Nano Boost Ana. So when these team fights come together, it's going to be just extraordinary.
It's going to be very chaotic here. Right now, the only interrupt for ETC potentially is the Sleep Dart. And with Johanna being still available for bans, that could be a go-to ban for party time if they're not afraid of more damage dealers. That's a very sensible ban, removing Greymane. But again, Cassia has just been let through here, but Beast Coast have next pick. I think Cassia and Genji is a very solid lineup. Both of them are basically impossible to kill, meaning that the tanks can focus onto Ana. So that could be a very sensible pickup here. If party time don't ban it out, of course, Johanna and Cassia, I'd say, would be the main bans here, and they're going to ban that Johanna. They want to remove that Mosh interrupt potential.
So we might see that new Barat coming out here once again. Also time to consider your solo laners. Who are you going to have now that that Rexar is banned away? Leoric is always a nice safe pick. He can stay on the point, but we are going to see Cassia Diablo coming out here. Diablo's a little bit difficult to have to play on this map, though, I think, Tetcher. There aren't a whole lot of walls save over the control points that you can bang your enemy to death into.
It's very true. Very true. The walls are mostly focused around the jungle area of the map where team fights are rarer until the late game. So we'll see if that works out for them. It's a riskier pick, like you say, but the heavy crowd control could be good if we do see the Bloodlust composition, which is more than likely, especially with this final two setup with Malthael and Reyna coming in as the final two. So now they have solid damage output from Tassadar Reyna, and Malthael the finisher, and preventative measures from being countered by a heavy front line, which could allow them to try and peel a bit more. This pickup should probably still be a Urel, but there are flexible options as well that could work just as well. They're going to roll with Artanis, more blinds to deal with the Bloodlust.
Artanis, I had even considered. I think that's really solid. He does well on solo lane maps and can kind of just live forever. But what I want to talk about really here is the Malthael pick. It was banned away game number 1, and picking it up here by party time I think is so incredibly smart. Beast Coast doesn't really have anything to deal with a last rites. Ana does pretty good healing numbers, but it's over time until she gets her level 16 where she can pick up that triple dart. And even then, I don't know if that's going to be enough, Tetcher. It's, what, 30% of your missing health, 40% of your missing health as damage? I don't know an Ana that can heal through that.
It's going to be hard to deal with. Until you get active reload, Ana is not going to be able to do that healing output. Like you say, it's going to be very, very rough. And the only person who's going to be able to protect themselves against that until then is Genji or Diablo with Soul Shield. If he chooses to go for it, if he activates that on time, he could try and block it. But otherwise, This is going to be a rough game. We'll find out if they're going to be able to do it as we are heading in to game number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, on the left-hand side, 1-0 up and having to defend against this brutal rush-down team of Party Time. It is Beast Coast with Richard Gere on the Ana, Pie Maker on the Cassia. Currently AFK is Legacy on the Diablo. And we have Muffin on Genji and Secret 333 playing the Artanis.
And over here on the right-hand side, we got Ekeeb on that Mouth AL. Jumping down a little bit. We've got Steely Man actually subbing in on that Rhaegar. Schumann is going to be your Rainer once again. Chess Clue on the ETC. And Bishop Mist is your Tassadar.
Level 1 talents, ace in the hole. They already have enough wave clear, they believe, from Rhaegar and Tassadar, so they're going for the Damouge, and they're busting that out. Genji was hiding up top lane, seeing if they could pick off an early level 1 meet, says Muffin. As they're going to begin focusing that down, Ekeeb sees that there is no Genji in that bush, but now sees Genji in the lane, so he's just going to be very sensible and play very far back while he waits it out. We're going to be seeing Devil's Due, by the way, for Diablo. Going to go for sustain in lane. And Genji, Agile Dismount coming in at level 1. Not going to go for the Swift Strike build.
Right now, the poke from Party Time is really coming to show as they get a little bit of damage onto those early fort walls there. Out comes the Rainstorm, which does help with wave clear. Neither one of these teams have phenomenal... I take that back, actually. Tassadar is really phenomenal wave clear. So one of these teams doesn't have phenomenal wave clear, but that Lightning Shield is going to help a ton. Schumann gets slept there, and the first tower does go over to Party Time as they're just harassing, and poor Diablo just being poked down by the long range of Rhaegar, and Muffin getting slid by the ETC. That's not supposed to happen. They are able to dash to safety, though, and Legacy looks to engage once again. Schumann, he just has his number.
Gonna see the objectives beginning to be channeled. It's a double channel already for Beast Coast, but the engage is happening as we are seeing Party Time trying to defend. Good slide by Chess Clue there, but the blinded Rainer is going to allow Legacy to back on out of there. Now, Bishop Mist is going to have to be very careful until he hits level 10, because of course, his auto attacks right now are a super fast laser beam, which means he needs to be careful when he's attacking Genji to use that S key or that H key to try and stop Genji getting that massive deflect value. For now, though, they've continued to put their pressure onto Legacy and force him to back out.
He's going to have to go ahead and tap there with that Devil's Due. Just right back there. There you go. Nice and full health. Not so lucky on the side of Party Time. They're going to go ahead and have to head back. And as such, we could see Beast Coast taking the early channel. But Party Time able to tap up, comes back in. And ETC is just going to stand on that point. Really difficult to get the cow to move if he doesn't want to.
Blades are coming in onto Legacy. More consistent poke, because this is a Q build Cassia. Thunderstroke continuously blasting. Finally a double channel going over to Party Time. And they're holding it for now. In top lane, currently Artanis is looking for stacks. And this is the rough part for Ekeeb here, because he wants to continuously poke Secret and get that percentage damage, but he doesn't want to give Secret those auto attacks for Protector of Eye, as we do see a bit of a scuffle. Legacy waiting for his moment. Double Sleep Dart is nice, but Legacy immediately wakes them up with the Fire Stomp.
They're going to have to step back here now as the team is nice and healthy, looking to advance on. Genji dives in with the jump slide coming out from the cow, but a shove from Legacy, and Schumann looks like he could be in a little bit of trouble. Nice force wall pushes Legacy and Muffin to two different sides. They're going to have to choose which engage they want to take, and Party Time is able to get out there. Another slide onto Cassia. She's got no armor. Tassadar doing a ton of damage. Nice heal from Ana. Chessfood tries to jump in, trying to get that finishing damage, but unsuccessful.
They're still able to hold, though. They still hold the position and get the double channel to continue. They're going to equalize this, and this is forcing Genji to realize that this isn't working. He got a good Dragon Strike off once, but he's still going to be forced up there. Dragon Claw, sorry. But he's still going to be forced up to top lane at least a little bit, seeing if he can get Ekeeb. But Ekeeb backed up and played it safe, so now Muffin is forced back down to bot lane, where he is about to get engaged on. He's just going to have to Swift Strike out.
Party Time are playing this really, really smart. They're not engaging too hard. They know the team has really strong dive. So they're like, all right, you know what? You come to us. We're fine to counter engage. And it's working wonders as once again the Force Wall comes out, shoving Beast Coast back into their base.
Chess Clue sustaining up once again. Legacy and Muffin moving up. They know they have to make these aggressive positioning plays, and they're making the most of Devil's Due to sustain themselves a little bit better here. Double Channel comes in. They get to 70%. They're going to try and take out Legacy, though, who's holding this point beautifully. Finally, he's going to be forced off, but Genji in the backline is going to force this to be a bit of trouble. Again, good patience, preventing any deflect value here as they force it back as both teams hit level 7, and the point is reclaimed by Party Time as they do not kill Cassia. And Genji goes to say hi to top lane again.
And you can just hear the communication between Party Time. They're like, all right, Genji's leaving. He's got no mana, so he can't threaten Ekeep too terribly much here, but he's just going to go ahead and back up. He knows his team is winning the 4-man splendidly, especially when it turns into a 3v4. So they're just going to go ahead, let the top go for a while and play this safely. They've already got the wall down and are about a... even in levels, they have like maybe a quarter level lead here, and they're willing to just let that ride. As long as passive experience blows their way, they'll always be slightly ahead.
Schumann gonna back away, heals up. Nicely done. Chess Clue gonna retreat to the point. Holds that for the moment. Legacy is in position though, and this is what they're going to be looking for. He's going to look for the right angle here as the storm comes out. Lightning Shield. Genji into the backline. Again, look at the patience, the sheer will to not hit the Genji as Bishop Miss gets solid damage out. And while the channel does go over just a little bit, this will be reclaimed before the objective is taken by Beast Coast. And once again, Party Time, they hold for now, but the problem is this keeps happening. They keep losing for seconds at a time and then re-holding while top is not going their way.
Looks like they're just going to go ahead and try and push into this bottom fort, see if they can't take away some of the power of Beast Coast down here in the bottom. The well goes down, and now it's just the fort to defend. They won't have any tap to go through. So if Party Time can just keep being as patient as they are, then they'll be able to hold for a very long time. There's no mana and health available to Beast Coast now. Ekeep just needs to get their level 10, and then it can be a game changer top. We might see that
They'd have to leave.
that point go over the way to Party Time.
The anti-heal grenade, too good there. That's going to force them off, and that is going to be the full Zerg wave going over to Beast Coast. But it's 100% to 67%. Now, that could be worse. That's still, as you can see here, a pretty sizable Zerg wave. That will keep the very low wave clear composition of Beast Coast down here for a while in the meantime, Party Time make the most of their faster wave clear and rotate up, catching Genji on the way. They hit level 10, and they're going to blast through the Zerg wave.
Just gonna go ahead and drop the Hyperion here. Thought about maybe they might drop the Bloodlust, but they're gonna go ahead and save that. Tassadar is about 4 wave clear heroes in 1, and the 100% of Beast Coast gets nearly nothing. It takes a little bit of the wall, and now all 4 members are here. The Zerg finally cleared out into bottom lane. Party Time's like, all right, yeah, we're gonna take this well too, okay? Thanks.
They're just gonna rush through that. Need to be careful though. Schumann drops a little bit of health, and there is a swap available from Secret, so the Fountain lives. By the way, Ball Lightning from Cassia. Secret gets himself caught in a rough position here. Schumann focuses on the Fountain instead, though, as we see the Suppression Pulse comes out, and that will save Secret's life. As the Fountain goes down, Secret gets out, and the retreat from Party Time is initiated.
They got exactly what they wanted, nothing more, so they're going to go ahead and look to tape camps. These are the first camps of the game that we're seeing, by the way. At 8.5 minutes, teams are finally going to look there, just showing what a grueling matchup it was in the bottom to try and grab that bottom lane. And while we're doing it, let's take a look at some of these quests. ETC almost finished with that Prog Rock. Tassadar almost finished with that static charge there. Just a couple more stacks to go.
That's really
Meanwhile,
quick.
Yeah, Artanis, the Protector of Eye, are already 84 stacks, so that's 84 bonus damage they'll have.
Not bad
Or
at
0.01,
all.
so 8.4 bonus damage. Nothing is needed. 8% of damage is actually quite a bit.
That's still a little bit extra. That's still a big chunk, especially as Artanis is built entirely around auto attacks. Cassia, 64 stacks, as you mentioned earlier, of that Thunderstroke, so already making their way up there very effectively. So far, no stacks of Blast Rights. We haven't really seen a full team fight yet.
He's just gotten it, so maybe when the next protector comes, or the next protection phase, Zerg phase, whatever you want to call it, comes around, we might see it come out a little bit more, because we did see Secret up there getting kind of low, sitting at about, I don't know, 40% health, which is just what you want for last rites to come out and clean somebody up.
That's why he ported back, headed all the way back to base, which gives a little bit of freedom for Iki for the moment. For now, Muffin makes the most of the positioning. A pot comes out, catches Rhaegar, but Bloodlust coming out. They're looking for a mosh pit onto Diablo, and Diablo has nowhere to go. But the mosh pit is actually interrupted as Muffin in the backline. Perfect patience as Chessclue picks up the kill. Legacy is too low to continue. Richard Gere is too low to continue, which leaves it up to Pie Maker to get out of here. And thanks to Richard Gere with the sleep, he will. A very easily won fight there. Again, the incredible discipline from Party Time, showing why they are a Division A East team, able to not hit Genji when he's deflecting and perfectly time their engage when that deflect expires and they pick up the kill. Also, Artanis is forced back to base again. Iki dominating this top lane now that he has the right talents. He finally has Die Alone, which is really giving him that incredible output.
And Schumann in the back is just bullying Legacy down here, and Party Time have just pretty much bullied this whole game. Tassadar coming out onto the Pie Maker Legacy, pushing onto Chessclue. Muffin finally able to step up to the top, but just for a second, they don't get any channel. And the difference on these points are just night and day here. Secret finally getting that bottom, does miss that Prism swap, and Iki just reclaims the top. Bottom has been taken by Party Time, 70% to 0 and climbing.
Die Alone, pretty good talent, yo, and Genji is not helping. He's needed in this bottom lane. He's finally going to make his way up because he realizes that they are being zoned far too well here. We have War Matron coming in here, that protected for Cassia, but there's so much crowd control from ETC, who has, of course, gone for that mic check, that cooldown reduction, which will disrupt her and get her out of there. They're going to focus onto Genji here, and that will force him out. Genji has gone for the way of the Shibata here, as here comes the APO, going to catch onto Tassadar, who gets out thanks to the cleanse. They turn it round. Dragonblade coming into the backline with deflect is good, and Sealyman will go down this time. Nicely done with that Dragonblade. They pick up the kill very nicely, and that is finally a double channel the other way round. Shockwave is done. That is insane. But in the meantime, Malthael did Malthael things to Artanis, which means he could start channeling this, but he's afraid of Genji. But Genji showing on bot lane. Artanis needs to start channeling that top lane to prevent double channel for Beast Coast.
Muffin is so very low, though, can't sustain. Does go down to the penetrating round of Raynor. And it was a really, really nice play by Muffin. The nice sneak around. They thought they had the 3v4. Then he jumped back, started an excellent kill, which did knock off Sealyman. But unfortunately, it just didn't go their way. And now we do have 18% to 100 up here in the top. But Party Time is really going to struggle. They didn't expect to be losing the points so much. And now that they don't have any wave clear, Diablo gets cleaned off. He does have his souls available, so he will be back, but significantly less strong.
Those Banelings, deceptively high damage. You expect them to be Zagara Banelings, but then you forget there's like 14 of them, and you get absolutely blasted. And Diablo trying to tank gets punished by Chessclue there as they make their way up. Sleep onto Raynor, a little bit of percentage damage there. He needs the healing of Rhaegar, who will make his way up. He has gone for that extra healing, that tidal waves on level 13, which will help a lot. But now with the 16 advantage, Party Time, they're looking for their first keep of the game. Sealyman forced to back away because Muffin went a little deep, but overall, with Guardian still alive, that's the first keep, easily, going over to Party Time.
And fun little fact about the Banelings, since you brought them up, they actually do percentage damage.
Really?
So if you want to face tank those Banelings, maybe have like your Ana or Cassia come forward to do that. Because I mean, as we saw there, not so good for a big thick hero.
I had no idea they did percentage damage. How much did they do? Do you know?
I don't know offhand.
Rip.
Oh no, Secret trying to get us to dive onto that camp. They knew they were there, but he just gets popped, and then there are those last rights. 2 stacks now.
And that's likely going to be the end of this bottom fort as well. Boss going to be taken, and this is what the Genji team wants to be doing, but they're not able to do it because they are falling behind on every objective phase. With Die Alone, they're just going to be able to blast their way through this. Chessclue with the lovely zone. Muffin says hello. Nothing.
What are
Gonna
you
say
doing, buddy?
goodbye.
You're not supposed to be there.
I think he really wanted to
Does
just
go down.
jump back over the wall and with the Swift Strike, but he got locked down, so he just died. Feels bad. That's going to guarantee the bottom before going down because the camp was cleaned up. They ain't going to be able to do that to this lad.
Chess Clue is playing this so perfectly. Like, I really have to tip my hat to them. These power slides have been incredible. Legacy the next on the chopping block. Out comes the suppression pulse, saving his life. But the Hyperion has been dropped. And these keep forts are going down. The boss has barely got a tickle on it. And it does some really serious damage.
They're focusing it down, pushing their way in here as the boss charges up. Big damage output coming in. This is going to be potentially keep number 2. Jinxie, this is a strong, strong performance from Party Time, and we are seeing the sheer power of wave clear drafts on this map, while they still have the team fight potential. Right now, Artanis, he doesn't even have to wave clear to clean this up. The core is under pressure. He's starting to take catapult damage because he's not dodging these. He's look at that. He gets chunked here. He's forced to clean this up. He will survive. Right. He will port, but the shield survives. In the meantime, though, the entire map is being painted red.
I was just about to say the pressure is non-stop from Party Time. The Zerg wave has started up once again, and the team is split 2-3. ETC gets pushed by Legacy, but nice and back to his safe team. They've taken the top 4. There's camps pushing both lanes, and now they're looking to take the bottom. Mosh Pit is available, so Party Time is going to have to be very careful. Legacy walks up, checks up everybody, but that's a really good APOC in a little condensed area. Chess Blue very low, does go down. Archon and Bloodless have been dropped. Muffin jumping in the back, trying to deal damage. Rhaegar is going to be the next to fall. Secret is looking at the back line. Last Right's coming out on him, though he does go down. Genji is the next to fall. 3 for 4 in favor of Party Time, but there are 2 camps on the core. Team has to be careful because Helmets and Goliath, they don't mess around, and it's on a Cassia set to clear. Feels bad, man.
And the fact is, those were the only 2 left alive after the fight. Yeah, they won, but Schumann picking up that last kill at the end onto Diablo and onto Genji means that they had no one left, meaning, like you said, they have to clear. Can Cassie actually do this? She needs to deal with the catapults first. Catapults are the highest priority here, because right now, they are ending the game, and she is focusing onto the mercenary camp first. That is not correct. She drops the blind. Artanis is back, but that's 50% of the core. In the meantime, Reyna chases Richard Gere off the point. He's going to get the double channel. And finally, they clean up these catapults with 49% on the core.
Is no Abathur in this map, so that core is going to stay at 49%. Top picked up by Party Time. Richard Gere manages to grab the bottom half, but the whole team is here. No ultimates for Diablo or Genji for another 20 and 5 seconds, so it looks like the Zerg wave might go the way of Party Time.
It's looking good for them. Genji, by the way, has gone for full deflect build, and I have got to disagree. The enemy team, Party Time, have shown so much discipline in avoiding that. The only place this is going to get value is the boss. And right now, that's on cooldown. As we see bot held by Party Time as Beast Coast look to try and take a fight before level 20 is hit, which is just under half a level away from Party Time. That's why they're playing so aggressively right now. Here comes APOC, but Chess Clue dodges away. And here comes Genji with the nano boost, but he's way too low this time. Last ride, see you later. But they do lose Rhaegar, and Tassadar focused down by the Fed, but there's the mosh pit. Schumann with the damage. E-Keep doing massive damage output here, but that might not be enough. ETC's out. E-Keep, he's fit single target damage, not AoE with this build. He's not going to be able to do enough. He's forced off, and without Tassadar, they lacked the AoE to win that fight.
Rough time for Party Time. I think if Beast Coast can continue to take these fights. Oh, okay, Legacy. Goodbye, friend. He does have the souls. He will be able to come back. If Party Time, or excuse me, if Beast Coast continue to take fights like these and just pick off a couple of members, they might be able to get something done. They'll be able to pick up the boss like they'd like. They'll be able to pick up some camps. Cassidy going down as I say that. Richard Gere also not long for this world as they're being absolutely bullied by Schumann and Chess.
Oh, not
Blue.
again.
Gotta pick up Zerg Wave. Legacy, you have less health than last time.
And poop. Swap comes out, hits nothing. That feels bad. Malthael just hunting here, farming this Diablo as he's going to make his way in. And it looks like they're going for core here. It's a 5 versus 2 here. Artanis and Genji, they have the Zerg wave pushing in the other lane, and they are going for end party time, looking to even us up.
It's a full Zerg wave at 20 minutes into the game. It's going to be really, really difficult for Beast Coast to defend with 2. And the Bloodlust is popped. Just adding insult to injury. Archon comes out, and that core is melting. 29% GG's being called. Game number 2, going over to party time.
Nicely done, party time, showing us we are in a series right now and popping us back to a 1-1. And of course, that is going to be very exciting for a lot of people in chat, as once again, this is the number 1 seed from Division A East versus the number 8 seed. Knocking out Beast Coast would be a huge deal right now for party time, with a massive cascade effect down the rest of the bracket. We will see how it goes, as right now, good performance, party time, evening us up and bringing us to a game number 3.
8 to 15 here on the kills. You can definitely see the game was a little bit more even there. And really, my vote is just Chess Clue did such a great job peeling and a fantastic job engaging. So patient with their abilities. It's not every day that you can lock down a Genji or an Artanis, and that's just what they were able to do. Ekip in the top played a phenomenal game, and Beast Coast, like, they're no team to sneeze at. Like you said, Tetcher, they are the number 1 seed here in Division A East, and they had a plan. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. I've seen them run a draft very similar to this before, and party time, I mean, they came with a plan too, and clearly they were just able to execute it a little bit better.
Like you said, the well-executed draft. And I think at this point, after 2 games in a row, it's time to ban Rhaegar. We're back at that point.
Yeah.
We started off with more personal drafts, focusing down each other. But we just saw what happened in the last 2 games there. 2 Rhaegars, 2 wins, both very focused around the Bloodlust style of play. And as such, I think it's time for the Shaman to say goodnight. But that's up for the teams to decide. We will find out. Also, interesting, I completely missed this. This is a Lightning Shield build for Rhaegar. Completely different to the usual Bloodlust style of play, but hey, damage is damage. It worked out well.
I mean, you couple that with the rainstorms, and that's like 8, maybe 9 damage you can do a second. Like, it adds up over time. Really, really nicely done. But I definitely agree on the Rhaegar sentiment.
Well,
Forget the teams are good. They have let's stop. Let's not be cute. We don't have like these galaxy brain 900 plates. All right, guys, we're gonna do this and this and this, and then the moon will be in Cancer, and we can beat the Rhaegar. Just ban him. Whoever's got first pick, like pick it or ban it. You know, he's putting in work both games.
Second pick is definitely what I'd vote for on that. The first pick is definitely that's a we're done style of ban. Second ban should usually remove it because first pick will want it. But we've seen teams prioritize other heroes over him. I'm starting to think that that's a mistake. So we'll have to see. Also, while we're out here, even though I can't work out why on earth the alerts are here, I can't work out why they're there, but I will call them out anyway. Everybody, thank you to Just Key for the follow. And we already called out DB Smiley for gifting a sub to Black Milk Online earlier on as well. So thank you very much for following and for subbing. If you are enjoying the show, consider leaving a subscription so that you can support your casters and keep us casting for as long as we can. It's rough times for everyone right now, but yeah, it is good. I mean, I feel comfortable saying this now. Before all of I mean, this isn't related to the tough times for everybody, but before all of the speaking out stuff came out, I was interviewing for a full-time job at Method. I am not taking that anymore. So as such, because of obvious reasons, as such, I'm back to the point of streaming, trying to rub 2 pennies together. Timing is perfect, because I'm a genius. We have our next map, and it is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Nice. Going back to a more close-quartered uh, team fight for it actually wasn't Beast Coast who picked this. I thought they might have because it is a smaller map. So we could see a lot more team fight coming out. I mean, Tomb of the Spider Queen, it's very snowbally, especially if you can get some early picks. But this was picked up by Party Time, opting for first pick on the side of Beast Coast. So what could Party Time be planning?
It's a good question. Late gameplay, perhaps? The option to go for something like a Nazebo, but that's very rare to see. But this is the map you go to when you want to play late game, or you want to play a heavy rotation team with someone like an Asmodan who stacks super hard. However, we haven't seen Asmodan in any kind of meta for a very long time, so I don't think we'll be seeing something like that. But again, this is a late game style of map, but this is a map that is very good for ETCs and Johannas again. They are still the high priority, especially due to the fact that it's very easy to rotate and gank here. Lots of solid options. We'll see which one they pick, because the players have already made their way in.
If I were Party Time right now, I think my bans would definitely be just Johanna and Rhaegar. Rhaegar because, duh, if you don't, you're a fool. Unless, you can pick up like a Deckard or a Stukov. So maybe don't prioritize that first pick, Anna. And then, of course, the Johanna. This is her best map. And having a wave clear tank allows you to try and fit more damage onto your team, not necessarily having to rely on who's going to pick up the gems. Tassadar is another great pickup here. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him come out. Otherwise, we might see our more traditional mages, Jaina, Kael'thas, Gul'dan if they're feeling very spicy.
Gul'dan would be a solid one, like you say. He's one of those heroes who has incredible wave clear for that mage power. The ability power would be good if Cassia sneaks her way through, because being able to keep her at length, because the second she gets in range of you, that's when you die most of the time. So being able to remove that would be pretty solid. So, yeah, I like the Gul'dan. Of course, I like all those mages that you mentioned. They would be a solid idea. We've seen a lot of Annas coming in for both teams, and yet not a single Li Ming. So maybe we'll see that sneak its way in. Oh, wait, was there a Li Ming game number 1? Or am I imagining things?
No, there was no Li Ming. We
Junkrat,
talked about it.
wasn't
We
it?
liked it for the Ana, but it was Junkrat, yes. Who wouldn't be bad here either? Junkrat is pretty good wave clear.
That would be good. That's a fantastic pickup. We've even seen Junkrats in the off lane, and seeing heroes like maybe Thrall in the 4-man, and heroes like that, and Malthael especially, for big pickup burst. The potential is there for either of these teams to play something a little bit out there, and this is one of the maps where you can actually see more out there picks, which is why it is actually one of my favorite to cast, weirdly enough. It didn't used to be, but as time's gone on, it's the late game map, so we get to see more creative stuff. That sound right there means we are heading into the draft and getting this underway. This will decide who moves on in the bracket, which I will show you very quickly before the first pick. Once again, this will decide who moves on in the Division A East bracket. This is in the top right game we're looking at right now. Beast Coast versus Party Time. Winner goes on to play against Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line. And we will be jumping into the draft with already some bans coming out.
We're going to see Rhaegar banned away by the first pick team, actually. Interesting. I didn't suspect that. And then they're going to see the Mephisto banned away, Zul taken off by Party Time, and the Tassadar getting pushed to the side. Nobody wants to deal with his insane wave clear.
Very sensible. Very sensible indeed. Like you say, his wave clear is absolutely mental, so removing that from the board is a pretty big deal here. With Rhaegar taken out, we see Deckard prioritized, not Ana here. So we see Deckard very early on with an ETC. Hammer was banned in game number 1, Jinxie. Do you think this is an alluding to that this is perhaps a preference for Party Time? In fact, you'd be one of the people who would know, I guess.
I don't know a whole lot about Party Time. We're going to see that Cassia come out, but Hammer I wouldn't hate, especially with the Cassia and the Lucio coming out. She's able to stay back in the back, and if your team strategy is to run at them, Hammer can kind of shut that down. Which we've seen a lot from Beast Coast, and they've been doing it really well. Game number 1 was an absolute stomp where they just ran at the enemy team and they couldn't do anything. So maybe with the knockback from Hammer and her excessive range, we could see that come out.
There goes the Rexar, batting those solo laner heroes. This isn't one of Rexar's best maps, but he's good on any map where he just has an island solo lane. And this map It's not an island, but the solo lane is still very important because you are left alone in it quite often. Reyna going to be burned out, finally going to force Shoeman onto something else. We'll see what that is in but a moment as second rotation here. Decade on the board, defensive positioning is available, but of course, big burst damage with that Ruby, with consistent buffs on it over the last couple patches. There's Yorel, finally makes her way in.
And a Kale Foss. I
Ooh.
like Kale Foss. The bomb spread does a ton of damage. It makes you have to play very split. And then just the AoE to follow up the ATC. I think that's one thing that Party Time was lacking a little bit in game number 2. With the KT here, those moss pits are going to get significantly more value.
It's also an extra stun to deal with Cassia, of course. When she is moving, she gains armor. When she is very still, she loses it over time. So having another stun there in the form of Kael'thas makes a lot of sense. Here's the Sylvanas, but here is the linchpin for Beast Coast. They bring out the Imperious. This gives them the burst pressure. Right now, their combo is looking like it wanted to fight over time, which can be rough into a Kael'thas. If they're able to zone away, he's going to be running the entire time. Imperious gives them that setup they need to maybe pick up these kills. Final pickup for Party Time.
I love a good stab daddy play. You know me, I've been playing a ton of him recently.
Whoa.
And we are going to get a Tychus pickup here.
That's
Interesting
unusual.
pick. I wouldn't have suspected Tychus. They have really strong wave clear with the Kale Foss and the ETC if he goes Echo Petal at 7. What does the Tychus say to you, Tetcher? Because to me it says that they just want to melt some thick health bars.
The Tychus is an interesting one because obviously the percentage damage is important, but also it offers them a lot of siege damage. Yes, melting that Imperious is going to be a very big deal and could give them some really solid value. Melting that Johanna is a big deal. The fact is, though, once we're actually in game, Tychus is going to have a lot of armor to try and deal with these hard engages. He's going to be able to kite Cassia very effectively due to his Q, but once we hit the late game, that Odin, which I assume is what he's going, is going to offer them so much siege combined with Kael'thas, combined with Decade. It's basically going to be the hammer, but with more actual team fight potential outside of those setup points. So I really like this Tychus because they've gone for a composition that late game is going to be almost unassailable.
We'll have to see what they can do with it. And, you know, now that I think about it, Tychus loves to stand still in auto with that minigun. Who has to stand still for 1 second if they get a stun? I'm just saying.
That's very true.
Could be a really, really rough Imperious game for Secret here.
We will have to see. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third game of this best of 3 series. This is the Division A East playoffs. Winner will move on in the bracket. Loser will be going home. They're already at home. Everyone's at home. Let's get this underway. Beast Coast on the left. Party Time on the right. Let's see who is able to start this off well, as we are going for Burn the Impure, the percentage damage off lane style, to try and melt those frontliners coming in for the Imperious.
Interesting. We usually see the stab build come out from Imperious in the solo lane, especially on a map where you can collect so many globes. So they want to just blow up the front line here. Chester got away with a lot last game, and we're going to see him taking a huge chunk of damage right there as Imperious lands a really nice Celestial charge. But wave clear picked up easily enough. Johanna, of course, significantly better. Teams are just going to go ahead and try and get their basic rotation down here.
Bomb was spread a little bit there by Beast Coast, and that is the question. Who's going to be in trouble if they're not reacting to this? Of course, Lucio, he needs to be near people to heal them up. Not too near. He can heal them by being out of range of the Living Bomb, but they've got to react to it. They've got to play it well. They have 2 heroes who have to stay moving. Cassia and Lucio have to stay moving to gain their full benefit here. So they have to keep moving while also bearing in mind where the rest of their team is. Spear does not land by Secret as E-Keep clears out the lane, but in the meantime, Muffin has started on the Mercenary camp.
And another interesting talent I want to talk about here just very quickly as the teams are doing their standard rotations. Field Study coming out from Deckard, not the Sapphire that we typically see. Hitting heroes with the spell power grants you a little bit of extra, or hitting heroes with the triangle grants you a little bit of extra spell power. So that means better potions. What that also means, though, is at level 16, if they opt for that Scroll of Stone Curse, extra damage, and we know that 16 chunks.
It really does. This is a very high damage Deca to build, which is good because they are very, very in on a mosh pit right now in terms of setting up for Kael'thas and Tychus. So having that extra Deca damage is good. There's also the fact that, once again, enemy team wants to group up around the Lucio. So having that Ruby could be very good here if that's what we see. Keep continuing to be annoying, and there is Ruby. It is an incredible talent right now, and with the composition they are going, this makes all the sense. We are seeing also, in the Rhythm, not going for burst style here. They are once again looking for longer, drawn-out team fights.
It's a great way to play against Lucio. He's got one big bursty heal and then a big bursty shield, so they choose to go that over high five, which wouldn't be the worst pickup here, in my humble opinion. But Deckard can throw those potions out, get nice and set up, and then they can just kind of fight forever. So long team fights, I think Party Time will have in the bag.
Sovereign Armor coming out for the Imperius here, very much the EU style here. Again, though, we see the Burning Impure only against compositions where they want to blow up a tank front line, but the Sovereign Armor definitely appears to be the go-to in most of the lanes. Stun. Very different to the American style, though. We have seen a lot of globe talents, and this is a very globe-heavy map, so it's curious to see the difference.
Might be a little bit difficult because, as we can see, Secret is very low on mana here, and actually the level 4 is pretty mana hungry for him. So if they continue to take these long drawn out fights, as we are suspecting that Party Time will want to do, we could see Beast Coast in a little bit of trouble. But based on their comp, they just want to go ahead, pick somebody, and get out.
And yet,
hopefully, go right ahead.
and yet, playing around that percentage, playing around that armor on the level 4, like you said, instead of going for the dueling in lane with that globe, going for the extra armor. We'll see if it works out in the river value right there. Just melts Legacy. Tychus runs him down 10 health at the end there, but Legacy is able to get out in time for the first Web Weavers coming in for Beast Coast. Level 7 available for both teams, and Party Time, they are playing significantly more aggressively at this early stage of the game, but they are a little bit behind in terms of the objective.
It's going to really hinder Beast Coast to try and get the fight before the Web Weavers even drop. Johanna having to step back and burn her defensives is going to really struggle here. We see she goes into that I'm getting all my shapes confused. Drops the Iron Skin. She is fine. That's the TLDR. Chest Glue in a little bit of trouble here as Richard Greer is popping behind their fort, trying to do a little bit of damage. But the Web Weavers cleaned out easily enough. Only a couple of walls taken.
Percentage damage and Web Weaver kill. The percentage damage coming in clutch there with that Burly Impure for Imperius, showing why it's so good sometimes when you're against someone like a Urel or an ETC, massively working out in their favor. As we do see that pickup, he gets the fort, he gets the kill, although the Web Weaver got the kill. We'll give it the cred for that. As we see another person making the most of Sylvanas up here. Burnt flesh, huge damage, but that fort is still disabled. This is not looking good for Party Time.
Chest Glue in the back, doing the best that they can. Out comes the Iron Skin once again. The fort takes about 40% of its health. Has to step on back. And if this is the way that Beast Coast are going to play, then Party Time is in some real trouble. They can't do with these short, bursty fights.
Spear comes out, doesn't land. That's going to allow Chest Glue to back up again. Good use of the dash out there by Bishop Mist. That's his level 1, going for that extra movement speed. No longer needs globes, just a solid talent. Keeps you safe. Allows you to avoid damage once that blind comes out. He jumps back, plays safe, and he now has that Relentless Soldier, which is going to make him even harder to pick off as in comes Iki.
ATC connects onto that Cassia. The Pie Maker gets immediately blown up, stunned enough they drop their armor. And that's going to be 1-0 so far. Johanna having to evacuate now. Doesn't spread that bomb to anyone. And not even in the meme sense, Party Time are scaling. They're almost level 10, and that's when this team comp really comes online. They haven't fallen too terribly behind in the early stages of the game. Now they've got their own Web Weavers. With level 10 on the rise, Beast Coast is going to have to watch out. They do have level 10 first, however, so they can get a pick here before the Web Weavers descend. This could be really good for Beast Coast.
Like you said, there is level 10. That's a Pyroblast coming in here. They are ready for fights. Like you said, a pick would need to come in, but the Web Weavers have already arrived, so the time is up for that. So we see this being cleaned up by Beast Coast, but once again, mirrored to the other side. It's going to be party time pushing in the top lane. They have that Odin. They're going all in on the siege with Chessclue zoning this away. But here comes the invisibility. Chessclue sees it, though. That's not perfect visibility, so they're able to back up, use that Odin to siege. They can see Legacy coming in. They missed the gravity lapse, but that's enough. They got the front wall. They got value here. They're not going to get any forts, though, which is going to feel bad and is going to suck for them. But they got XP. They've basically evened up the level count, and this has put them in a situation where they can now fight, which is where their comp comes into play.
Not too bad there. Nice slide onto Sylvanas, who was rotating a little bit unsafely. Out comes the Lucio, break it down, saving her life, not losing 23 gems. Pyroblast was dropped there as well, but really fast reactions by Richard here there.
Able to save the day. Lucio to the rescue. That is Sand Barrier down, though, for 16 more seconds. You can see the play attempting to be made, but with no Odin, no Pyroblast, this is a little rougher. Percentage damage. Melts his way through. Blind Blast Shield. Wailing Arrow. And that is hugely rough for Tigers, but he's still going to make his way out. Chessclue, though, completely surrounded, trying to take through, and he is doing so. Ekeep swaps the aggro between the two of them, allowing Chessclue to back up and get healed. That was beautiful fight management coming in from party time.
No kills on either side here. Everybody just kind of pressed R and ran away. We did see that mosh pit come out on a one member, but nobody was around, and a really nicely positioned spear from Imperius saves the life of the members of Beast Coast. And now both teams have the ability to turn in the next couple of seconds. Will we see anyone get it in? ATC just lets the pie maker turn in. Waited so long.
It's a little too slow there.
They add up.
Yep, they're going to be able to turn in because of that misplay there. Sylvanas comes over the wall. They hold it together. Yrel gets absolutely stabbed at it and is forced to back up after losing most of her health. ETC still another minute until Mosh Pit is back. With Web Weavers coming in, top fort is starting to look real sweaty.
Top lane is the name of the game here, as this is the boss lane. This is the lane you want to push and devastate with. Out comes the Odin for good siege damage. We can see that Web Weaver already taking a large chunk of damage. Beast Coast is just going to disappear. They got the Odin. That's good enough. They won't have it for the next team fight. And it looks like this fort is going to go down anyway. One baby slap from the spider sends it reeling. And now mid fort is under some serious pressure.
Level 13 available, talent advantage. Spear onto Chessclue, and that percentage damage is no joke, but he backs up. No follow-up this time, and that is the pressure of Imperius. He's fantastic until your team doesn't do anything. In this case, they just weren't in the right position. Imperius found a very opportunistic hit, but unfortunately, no one else was lucky enough to be in that position. That was definitely no misplay from anyone. So we see the shots come in from Bymaker, trying to pressure Chessclue. In the meantime, Yrel having to deal with the tier 2 pressure in this bottom lane. Will clean that up. But that is all but one fort down, and that mid fort down to half health with Sylv disabling it, but Black Arrows expire. Fission Bomb coming in for Kael'thas, by the way. Extra radius on his bombs.
He wants to try and make it as difficult as possible for Richard Gere to heal and the team to group up. Able to save that middle fort. Now we're looking at these camps, which, once again, it's been a couple of minutes since we've actually taken camps in the game. This is the first time Party Time is able to get one. We did see that bottom camp cleared out by Sylvanas earlier on. And 70 gems on the side of Party Time. They can look for a turn-in whenever they're ready here. And it looks like with Beast Coast on their Bruiser camp as well, that's exactly what they're going to do.
They're going to look to try and turn in the bottom lane, but Cassia is here. Javelins are available. Imperius is looking to bring some spears to the party. And he's going to make his way down, but no one's in position. They just let Chessclue let it go. They instead focus on clearing out that Bruiser camp so that theirs gains more value and will help de-push the Web Weavers. Nicely played. Very sneaky.
Waiting to cap that camp so they can help with the push here in the middle lane. And despite that bottom lane, there's actually a lot of pressure from Party Time in the other two lanes. They've got the Web Weaver's pushing very, very high. Oh
No
my goodness, Bishop Miss
way.
nearly goes down, but he survives and is able to pop the Odin. Out comes the Web Weavers. Beast Coast turning to try and get some damage onto them. Sylvanas gets pushed back, has to drop the sound barrier, and that's all before the Pyroblast comes out. It will be up in 5 seconds, and the team could be under some pressure here.
Pyro interrupted with the lovely condemn rotation in, but now Odin has expired before the Webby really got in, but they're gonna get a fort out of this. This is still value. That's gonna once again get them closer to catching up experience-wise. They cleaned that out. Yrel was a bit outnumbered here. She backs up. Bottom fort will survive, but it's weakened. We still have a lead for Beast Coast, but Party Time are back in the game, and with Mosh Pit and Pyro still available, they still have the potential to turn this in their favor.
It is a really deadly team fight to step up onto. Legacy gonna jump in, try and do some damage to Bishop Miss there. But Party Time is just gonna go ahead and back off. Maybe look to grab this Imperius. He does check the bushes. You can see team calls are being made that members are missing. Fog has been turned on once again. Chessclue surrounded by 4 members. Has to be careful, able to use that Mossman to get out, or power slide. But Muffin is going for it. There is no fort to protect these 2 members. He keeps missing with that hammer. But here comes Tychus, and that's enough damage to dissuade.
That power slide juked the Bless Shield there, which is now on the 40-second cooldown. That was really well played by Chessclue here, keeping his team in the game. If he'd gone down, that would have been a rough time, because that would have been Web Weavers and a man advantage for Beast Coast. But in this case, Party Time, they now have all 5 members alive. They're just about to even up the talent here as they hit level 16. And they're going to be able to defend this effectively. Mid lane is almost certainly going to die. I don't see that surviving this push. But their tier 2s might end up surviving all this.
Just believe in the heart of the heroes. They're all here. They're burning it down. Beast Coast hasn't showed up. 25%. Out come the black arrows. Imperius tries to get a stab from the back, but whiffs it. And you're right, it does go down. Ooh, big 5-man silence there.
Here comes the Angelic Armament Sleep, but Deckard is still going to pop here, with Kael'thas not available for this fight because he was stuck in bot lane, zoned out by Muffin. That Wailing Arrow, like you said, the 4-man silence shut down any chance of a defense there. Beautifully played, even after the Imperius stun did not land. We're going to have to see Odin pop defensively to try and zone this away. And that Odin Siege is no joke. It is going to help them through this. But this is rough, having to burn it in a situation like this as we see Legacy moving forward. Bishop Mist tanking through as best as he can. They dodge the Valkyrie. Living Bomb is spread here. Black Arrow lands, but there's no minions left. Good job, Bishop Mist, with this wave clear. He takes a lot of damage, but he will survive. Yrel cleans top lane. All the keeps survive.
And that's what's important right here. Having a naked core on this map does pretty much just mean GG. So if Party Time is able to hold on to the keeps, then they're still able to hold on to the dream of getting through playoffs. And it looks like both teams are just going to go ahead, try and clear, reset, take some camps. 69 gems on the side of Party Time. Nice. Are they going to be able to get them turned in? Only 23 gems on the side of Beast Coast. And now this is where Tomb of the Spider Queen becomes a little bit awkward, as it becomes more difficult for teams to collect gems because the zone is pushed this way and that way. You have to start looking at things like boss or just killing people and hoping to push down despite the fact that, you know, all of your minions are in Antarctica.
There is one huge, good interrupt by Legacy. That will be one interrupt. I'm not sure they'll get any more in, but there's one huge advantage for Beast Coast when it comes to this next team fight, and that is this thing right here. This one fountain that remains in the mid lane gives them something to retreat to and a position where they can take a longer fight. Same strategy again, delaying the Bruiser Camp for the Web Weaver so that they can use it for defense and it doesn't get cleaned up early. I really like this play from Beast Coast. But now, they have to defend against the 5-man. No level 20s available. It's level 18 to what's about to be level 19. Beast Coast. They're just going to probably try and avoid a fight and defend under fort in this middle lane. And we see Party Time. They're going to want to try and take a fight before level 20. They're going to grab this fort in the bottom lane. Maybe they'll just go for the race instead and try and catch up in XP that way.
Definitely a viable option. Bottom lane is usually the least prioritized on Tomb of the Spider Queen, but still, an opportunity to end the game. They're just going to go ahead and grab that, and it looks like they might be interested in grabbing the forts just so they can try and equalize those buildings like you were saying, Tetcher. Middle lane, as I just saw you jump to, is going to be pushed out by that bruiser camp, so Party Time's going to have to be careful here. They could lose a keep.
This is dangerous. That keep is under pressure. We see the counter push coming out with the Odin, but there's the dash. They back up. They're done. They know that level 20 is half a level away, and they can't afford to lose a keep right now. They send Yrel back, and with the man disadvantage, they have to let it go. Now we have the waiting game. Party time. The party is over, or at least they're hiding the drinks until the cops leave, because now they have to wait until their level 20 hits, as Beast Coast are just short of level 20 themselves, and they are going to be looking for blood.
Now, one thing to note. The last time that we saw Party Time and Beast Coast in a game, it was on Tomb with the Spider Queen. It went a lot like this, and then there was a boss throw pit. With that looming in the distance, do we see history repeat itself? Both teams being so careful right now. Beast Coast maybe potentially looking to fight. They have that level 20 advantage, looking to take this keep now here. And Party Time might just have to let them have it.
They're all invisible. Chest Clue hovering around. They see the stealth move in. Keep is low. They're hovering around despite being low level 20. Imperius is full stealth here, but he will move out. The zoning from Kael'thas is so spectacular here, and they're defending this with 4, which means Yrel is getting them experience and creeping them towards level 20. I think this keep will fall, but they will have 20 before any objective is available for either team, unless E-Keep is picked off here by Imperius, but the spear does not land.
Bishop Miss is playing out of their mind. Like, can I just say, the way that they're protecting these buildings and zoning off Beast Coast is really insane. They're just coming in, dropping their abilities, but in the way that they're doing so, they're hitting everybody. They're splattering that damage across and saying, you want to step in? Fine, but you're going to do it with half health, and it's just enough to keep Beast Coast at bay. Slide comes out from Chest Blue. Does not connect.
He was looking for it, does not land it. We have Bottomless Flask for Decade here. They have to be careful about Blessed Shield because Johanna's playing up and she has Radiating Faith here. Just runs past Yrel, who's currently busy beating on the boombox. As E-Keep moves up. Again, Chest Clue, he has Mosh Pit available. He has Bolt of the Storm here. That's his level 20. That's a bit far up for Tychus. He gets pulled in, but he survives the armor value that he gets as the Odin is popped up. Mosh Pit is used, but he cancels it early, realizing that he only caught one person, that he was in danger. This fight very fast split here as Muffin is forced to burn the blink, and that's going to force the fight to split up here. Piemaker eating the damage from that Odin, but with this Odin about to pop and no level 20 Big Red, but they power slide in, face melt, and that was more of a disengage than anything else here. They're really trying to make the use of this Odin, but it has expired.
Gonna have to go ahead and back up here. Not the worst fight from either team. ETC does get stunned. Out comes that Bosa Nova once again. Yrel dropping the Ardent Defender. Pyroblast coming onto Imperius, who is able to take that Angelic Armament's not able to suppress the damage there. E-Keep is so very low, but a humongous leap, saving their life. Sylvanas trying to get back in, but Bishop Miss with insane harass. Once again, Richard Gere with the boot, protecting their allies. E-Keep jumping back in. A nice 4-man hammer, but Chest Blue is unable to follow up. Legacy comes in, gets a 4-man condemn. Tychus is going to be the first to fall. E-Keep running for their life now. Chest Blue might not get out of here. They have 22 gems. They do go down, not able to pick up the gems. E-Keep may be looking to do so, using that Seraphim's Embrace. Richard Gere trying to harass. Are they going to get out, or are we seeing the end of the game here?
E-Keep goes down. That leaves Decade and Kael'thas here as they pull back. Sealy Man spin, not off cooldown. It is Kael'thas. He does a fantastic wave clear, and you can see that fear coming in here. Beast Coast, they realize the fighting into Decade is a little risky for them. They have Web Weavers, so instead, they go for the safer play. They go for the turn-in, and they go for the Mercenaries. They steal everything, paint the map blue, and they are looking for a play. This is a lot of pressure up in top lane, but the Web Weavers will de-push this.
It's going to be a really hard defense here. We could be seeing the end of the game. Those cruiser minions able to be cleared out fairly easily. Of course, this bottom keep is just gonna pop. The team's already in their base.
7
Deckard
seconds.
coming in the best they can. Kilthos trying to defend the middle. 3 seconds on ETC, 14 on Urel. Pressure onto the core as it starts to sink down. Drops Odin, but out comes Deckard Cain. Stay a while and listen. Nice and stoppable. Blessed Shield is whiffed.
This is good. This is good. Bless Shield down. Chess-Clue in the position to hold this. This could not be better for party time, honestly. They are in the best position possible to hold because a lot of those that big ability, that Bless Shield, is now on cooldown, meaning they are actually going to be able to hold this. They look for the clear, and you can see Beast Coast realizing we just burned Bless Shield and Mosh Pit is up. They have to leave, and that is going to feel bad for them. Tychus, he's been able to get out so many of these fights, but a big call out here. Tychus did not go for Big Red Button at level 20. He went for the multiple dashes to try and get himself out of danger when he is engaged on, which he is the target, let's be honest, because they can't get to Kael'thas because Flamethrower is too good. So they're having to play back. This keep is the target, the last remaining Web Weaver, and Beast Coast. They find themselves in a position trying to siege into Tychus Kael'thas, and that's not easy.
You can almost feel palpable disappointment from Beast Coast as their potential last Web Weaver phase of the game got almost nothing. They grabbed that bottom keep in the, bottom, but it was wounded. It was always going to go down, and now with only 32 gems and all the soak pushing in towards party time, they might have to look at boss, and you know that that boss throw pit has got to be weighing in the back of their minds.
It is a risky position if they were to try and do it. Chess-Clue comes in. Just going to zone him. Legacy, he's going deep into the backline, but the dash is coming out from Bishop Mist, keeping him safe. Zoning comes out.
Teams are just looking to posture on each other. There is no more Web Weaver phase happening. It's so hard to grab gems in all the lanes. There are no special shenanigans you can pull. It's about who can take the better team fight or who can grab that boss. We're 24 minutes into our third game of the series, and we can see Beast Coast posturing on that boss. They know it's the only way.
They reveal Secret. Secret is no longer stealthed as once again the fog is up. But Chess-Clue, even being on one of the lesser tanky tanks in ETC, the burst damage, unless Imperius hits him, isn't there, and he is playing this beautifully. Kael'thas cleans out mid lane, meaning right now a man advantage is in favor. Here they go in. Valkyrie onto Tychus. Here's the target. Stay a while. Hits no one. Bishop Mist backs away, but a Stay a while will zone, and that is important here. That allows them to back out using only Stay a while and listen in exchange for Valkyrie, Angelic Armaments, Bless Shield, and Wailing Arrow. That couldn't have gone better for party time.
Only thing they've got left is that Bossa Nova, and they're pushing in despite having none of those epic abilities. ETC is hidden in the fog looking for that mosh pit. They have that Bolt of the Storm available, and Beast Coast has been grouping a little bit. They got a group for that Lucio break it down. They've got a group to try and do something. They're doing their best here.
They know Imperius is there. ETC found him with his body, so they're just going to play around it. Everyone else, you see, they change their direction. They take the safe route instead of the aggressive route because they knew Imperius was there, thanks to Chess-Clue, who once again is carrying this team with his body. Going to find Legacy because guess what just expired? It's the fog, and that's going to force the Johanna to absolutely skedaddle on out of there with that fanaticism.
Bless Shield has come back up off of cooldown, and as have most of the ults. They are relatively short. Party time has kind of lost their window of advancement here. Out comes that Valkyrie, hitting nobody but Chess-Clue, but he wants to be in the middle of the team, so they aren't going to do a whole lot of damage to them. Out comes the avoidance there. Legacy in the back, trying to slow the team. Iron Skin is dropped. Now they'll have to be careful because Chess-Clue is ever so patient with the Mosh.
He's been holding this. He has Bolt, but he just won't pull the trigger because if he pulls that trigger, it they don't know which way that bullet's going to go. This fight's been going on so long that Beast Coast, this game's been going on so long that Beast Coast nearly have another turn in. As Legacy is engaged on, they look for him. Fanaticism is so good, he speeds away. Here comes the rest of the team from the side though, looking for the flank as Legacy comes back in. He's already healed up, and that's going to force, again, the disengage, because Party Time, they have enough for their turn in as well, but they can't find the angle.
Chessclue looking to just try and clear this, as is the rest of the team. Sylvanas threatening to come back in. Ult's all up on the side of Beast Coast. Odin still down for another 40 seconds, and this would be the ideal time to fight. However, a really nice jump in by Ekeep. Muffin's taking so much damage. Bosa Nova having to come out to defend them, and now Ekeep and Bishop Miss turn their eyes to Richard Gere. Johanna having to retreat. Secret drops the Unstoppable, does not get slide engaged on by Chessclue. He gets stabbed. He takes a ton of damage. ETC goes down.
They finally
and now
land the
Party
spear.
Time is in trouble.
They finally landed the spear. Pyro's going to come out, but Richard Gere will tank. He uses the armor from his trait to tank through that. But there's still not enough gems. They're trying to desperately farm them up as Beast Coast desperately try to grab everything they need here. But that blink being down in ETC was the key moment there. Finally landing the spear from Imperius, using that percentage damage. They finally pick up Chessclue. And with that, Boss is being channeled. Johanna looks for the interrupt on the turn, and she will not get it as we see Ekeep coming down. Actually, she's going to get one more interrupt, but she's on her own here. Do they try and go for the 1v4? Try and pick her up?
Looks like they're just trying to turn in. Legacy
If they get her, this is huge.
Oh, they get the turn in, and she's so low. She's losing half health. Tiger throws the grenade. Get out of here. And now it's Web Weavers versus Boss. Party Time has delayed enough here. The ETC will be back in 3 seconds. He'll be up to defend, and a killer mosh pit could change everything.
Everyone forgets about Fury at the Sunwell, lands there, gets good value. The boss being cleaned up, but you can see the pressure being applied here. Party Time, they do not want this pressure in the bot lane. They were hoping that Webweaver would give them freedom, but Beast Coast, they just delete it here. And that boss value, this is gonna be keep number 2 of the game. I stand corrected. The boss decides to stun and absolutely ruins Beast Coast's plans. Party Time hold again.
Report, Boss.
Oh, Chessclue.
They have the Web Weavers available. Chessclue is all by himself. They want that keep. It's a tickle away.
It's gone.
Sylvanas is going to get it with the poison damage from the Shadow Dagger. Legacy dropping that Iron Skin, able to get out easily enough. And the Web Weavers are cleared. Now it's a team fight. Oh no, the mosh pit was interrupted. It's a 10-second cooldown, and Blink has been burned, but Legacy all by themselves in the back.
They're looking for it. Fanaticism too good, though. They force it back up. McGiblets and Son of a Harris, thank you very much for your follows. Fantastic names, by the way, as we see the stealth coming in onto Tychus. He is, again, one of the priority targets. Decade also visible. Ekeep looking for an angle. The Web Weavers are gone, but now it is enough for Beast Coast to channel their Web Weavers. They find Johanna. If they can get her again, this could be big. The Iron Skin's down, the focus, but Bosa Nova shuts it down. Muffin, forced to bolt, suddenly was in a real rough position there as they look for it. Bishop Mist isn't actually the healthiest right now, and Secret is in a good position. Bless Shield is the stab, Daddy! As we see Kael'thas absolutely ruined as Tychus is taken out as well, and finally Beast Coast find the targets they want. Decade is going down. Chessclue's trying to buy time, but there's nothing left again. It's 4 players down. Ekeep is all alone. The last keep goes down to catapults, and this looks like it will be it, Jinxie.
Beast Coast is making their stand now. Ekeep trying to get away, but it's just one lone Yrel and the entire world against them. It looks like game number 3 after 30 long minutes. Yrel dying seals the deal. Will go over to Beast Coast.
Beast Coast not having the easy game that they probably would have hoped for their round 1 in the playoffs, but they do secure it with the patience of Secret. They wait out their moment, and then finally they land the stab daddy engage. Able to pick up those kills, and they are able to take game number 3. Nicely done to Beast Coast, claiming that game number 3 and moving on in the bracket in the Division A East playoffs.
11 kills to 1, and I honestly didn't know the game was so close. And I just have to say, I know exactly how Party Time must be feeling right now, as they will not move on. This was their one and only shot to climb through playoff. But if you guys are in chat, you did such a phenomenal job, and I really hope you guys are proud of yourselves. And big congratulations to Beast Coast, too, as they do move forward. Really, really nice games. It looks like Party Time just got a little bit over ambitious there at the end. Let go of some of that patience, and Beast Coast was easily able to capitalize.
They really, really were. We did see incredible play from Party Time, like we said, but Beast Coast, the capitalization, the power of that Imperius. 10 assists, almost involved in every single kill there. Really getting good value. And that Sylvanas damage. 147 siege, combine that with the Johanna, and again we see wave clear value coming in. That was good. Very nicely done, and I'm going to try and find somewhere for us to jump in on an interview, which has reminded me that I'm going to have to hide you when I do that because you are my Discord. So I'm just going to quickly show you to the talent screen. So if you want to talk about any talents while I try and set that up.
Yeah, definitely. So we can go ahead and look at these.
That is
Seeing
all
if there's
good.
any. Not
I
talk.
realized I,
Oh,
I realized that I didn't tell you the lobby. I've not done this with Discord much before. We're going to jump into lobby 1 quickly, just in the NGS chat.
sounds
Alrighty, see you
good.
there. Sorry about that. I realized as
I
we
was talking
went.
to myself there for a second, and then you left, and I was like, why am I saying this?
No, I completely forgot to say. Alright, let's head over there now.
Alrighty.
Woo, that was silly, chat. My bad there. Let's quickly prepare for our interview and also let the players know. Lobby 1.
Oh, Muffin's
Ooh.
Oh,
already
already
here. How
there.
you doing? What an exciting best of 3 series.
Oh man, my heart is pounding. That was a stressful third game.
30 minutes. One of the longest we've seen in a while. So let's talk about the series. You guys are moving on. That's exciting.
Yeah, we definitely are. We're looking forward to this match too because actually we've been friends with Party Time for like 3 seasons now. This is like a rivalry between friends.
Oh, nice.
It was
Exciting, good stuff. It's always nice to play with friends because even if you lose, you can be happy that your friends are moving on. Tetcher, you want to talk about the games?
Absolutely. So, game number 1, the Bloodlust composition, very effective in your guys' favor, but you did have a little bit of trouble at the boss using Bloodlust pre the fight. What is the call there? Was the plan just to rush it down?
Yeah, we bloodlusted to try to blow the boss up before they got there. Like, we had a cocoon, we had something and something. We thought we could do it easy peasy, no problem at all. We had problems.
Fair enough. Understandable. And in the second game, you left the Rhaegar over to the other team. And so I want to ask, where do you feel the Rhaegar is prioritized there? Because by the third game, it was gone.
Yeah, I generally feel that Rhaegar is not all that great on Praxis. I think, given certain comps, you can really heavily punish his lack of sustain. Like, Rhaegar, he does not have the same healing output as like Anna or Stukov or Oriole.
Makes sense to
But,
me.
yeah, but things didn't go quite as planned, as you can see, as you did see.
That was a tough game, number 2, excuse me, but you brought it back game number 3. You guys were doing really, really well, and then it got a little bit stressful. What were the comms like towards the end? You guys got some picks, and then you weren't able to push, and then finally, you guys just took the fight around the turn and were able to pick that ETC, and it kind of went rolling from there. So I guess my question to you is, did you guys just decide to cut and go, or talk me a little bit through what comms were like?
Like throughout that entire 10-minute sequence, we were just at first we were like more or less pretty calm, you know, like we'll just get a pick, we'll use our super awesome 2-second shield stun, we'll blow some up. We kept on hitting the Tychus and he kept on not dying. Like that was bonkers. Like what that I guess that armor talent at 7 is like the strongest talent in the game or something because he never freaking died. Like he actually survived every single time except for at the end. And you know, a lot of times we ended up missing ults and like things were getting more and more tense. We're getting stressed, and a few players on our team, maybe only me, have a tendency to go really ham, maybe even int. I'm and you know, the longer the game goes on, the more prone we are to making mistakes. So we were just getting really nervous at the end until we finally got our lucky break.
Makes sense.
So I have one more question about game number 2 quickly, just to jump back to that. I know we're all over the place a bit here, but the Cassia build ended up being a Javelin, a Lightning Fury style build. And I'm curious about the priority on that. I'm just wondering how you feel that fitted into the composition.
Right. That game we are playing on Praxis. We're all constantly in combat. We don't have always the space to let Cassia auto attack freely. Like you know, as Diablo does not have the best peel. It's not all that easy to get Cassia out of rough situations if she has to step up all the time to get value. The Q, you know, on a 4-lane map, I mean, not a 4-lane map, a 2-lane map, where there's a 4-man, you can stack it up pretty easily and hopefully make it pay off in the long run. That's why we took that over charge strikes.
Makes sense to me. All right, Jinxie, any more questions for you?
That's it from me, thanks.
Alrighty, so the floor is yours, Muffin. Any shout-outs? Any call-outs for Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line?
Alright, I will get to those call-outs at the end of the shout-outs. But first, huge shout-out to you guys for casting us. Like, some of us on the team are actually a big fan of yours, Tetcher, and we were ecstatic when you picked us up. Shout out to Party Time for going 3 whole games with all the nonsense we pulled on them. And shout outs to our viewers and all the people I made come watch me. And yeah, now a message maybe to Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Time. Line, not Time. I will slaughter you guys, grind your bones to dust, and sweep you away like so much trash.
Damn.
That's it.
All right, well, thank you very much. Congratulations on your victory. I am scared. And good luck in the next round of the playoffs. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Muffin, congratulations, Beast Coast.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks. All right, I'll see you guys.
All right, see you guys later, Jinxie. I will call you back.
Sounds like a plan.
Alrighty, and call Jinxie, which means I can jump back to our webcam, and she will appear in a moment, hopefully, and everything will be fine. Feels decent. Yeah, thank you, GG Lave, or Glaive. Thank you very much for jumping in and dropping us with the raid at the end there. Very appreciated. Luckily, this is not where the games end for the day. There's Jinxie. She's here. So yeah, once again,
hello, it's
Glaive.
me.
Glaive, welcome. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, viewers of Glaive. That is it for our NGS cast today. So that is where we say goodbye to Jinxeekatt. Jinxie, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast. Always a pleasure to cast with you.
It has been my pleasure, in fact. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not where we end for today. For starters, before I say goodbye to you and tell people what's coming up next, where can people find you? And what are you up to over the next week?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Jinxeekatt. It's spelled, my name isn't on the screen, but it's
Oh, should have done that.
Jinxeekatt. We play a lot of heroes. We do a lot of casting on my own channel. We've been jumping into some League of Legends lately. So if you guys are interested in any of that, you can come hang out with me. We'll be doing a lot more of the playoffs as they are revealed to us.
Sounds like a plan. In fact, your series, the series for your team is happening at the same time as this one. So we'll find out the results of that shortly. I'm excited to see. For now, though, Jinxie, thank you for joining me. But before we leave and head over to a break to say goodbye to Jinxie, I just want to let people know what is coming up next. For those who do not know me, I am a world record holder, unofficially. I am the fastest person, and first and only person, because nobody was stupid enough to try it, to beat Heroes of the Storm, the Heroes of the Storm AI, using only voice commands. That is a world record, and I realized that I want more. I want more world records. I want to be the ultimate Heroes of the Storm gamer. So I figured, what am I best at? What do I do? And I realized that what I do is casting. So I figured, what if I cast a game and made it a world record? But then I realized that casting a game isn't a world record. So then I figured, what if I cast 2 games of Heroes of the Storm at the same time? But then I realized that's too easy to beat. That could be beaten by anyone at home. So I decided, what if I cast 4 games of Heroes of the Storm at the same time? So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head to a quick break. When we come back, I will be casting 4 games of Heroes of the Storm simultaneously, while trying to keep up with everything that is happening on all of them. So do not go anywhere. Jinxie, thank you for joining me. And any final words? Last words are yours.
Subscribe to Tetcher with Twitch Prime.
Oh, thank you very much. We're going to head to the break, everybody. And when we come back, it will be time for whatever the hell that's going to be. So see you all in a moment.